snazzy little music.
I like
there.
that music.
I
Okay,
know.
Kim, do you know who E. Bryant Crutchfield is?
He looks like a composer from.
That's a good guess.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like the Brian Epstein from the Beatles to me.
Yeah, he
from that
does.
age. He's actually he passed away last month at the age of 85. He was the inventor of
Oh, I bet I know now.
the Trapper Keeper.
Do you have a sound effect for that?
Well, interestingly enough, we got some fun details about this. Who here had one of these Trapper Keepers? Some of the people may be too young. Some may be a little bit too old. But yeah, I was smack dab in the middle of the Trapper Keeper generation.
Yep.
And it was kind of interesting to do a little research on where it came from. And it was like office supplies that industry doesn't really get big splashes. Yeah. It's not like, here's the new iPhone, So that actually was huge. And it started, it was very old school market research that he just did research. He planned. He was like looking into things. He realized in 1972 that there was some research that showed there would be more students per classroom in the coming years, and they would be taking more classes, and they would have smaller lockers. So he started putting things together that, okay, we need to come up with a way to help them manage all their stuff in a compact sort of way. And this was kind of interesting. So he was putting a mock-up together, and he was talking to a sales rep on the West Coast. And the sales rep was like, why don't you make pockets vertical, the up and down versus the horizontal? And those are actually called, I didn't know this, they're called peachies, which stands for peachy keen.
Oh.
Okay? And they had been around since the 1940s, but they were only really kind of popular on the West Coast.
Huh. Okay.
So Crutchfield, who was the inventor, is like, well, these are really not that popular. Why would I do it this way? And the sales rep noted that when you close the Trapper Keeper, the papers are trapped inside. So, like when they're horizontal, they'd come out the top. They'd fly out the top. And so when you have them this way and then close it, then they're stuck in there.
Yeah.
And they're not flying all over the place.
Trapped.
So that was...
By the way, Catherine doesn't even know what this is because they don't have them in New Zealand. So
right,
someone help her out.
Pay attention. Yeah. I'm explaining it, Catherine. All right. This is a little history lesson for anyone who doesn't know. Yeah.
Different parts of the world. Yeah.
The name came up. They called the folders trappers.
Okay.
So I didn't know that. They actually referred in the article to folders as portfolios. And then they called those trappers. Okay. And then they said, well, what are we going to call the notebook? We said, we'll call it the Trapper Keeper. So interesting. So a couple of the iterations that happened. Now, this kind of brought me back because it's been a long time since I've seen a Trapper Keeper.
Yeah,
do you remember? Okay, so they were the PVC. They're like plastic binders. Yep. I think I got some pictures there.
Oh, we had the horse one.
Did you?
Oh. Yes, we did. Oh, that green.
Yes, I did.
So they had three colors of the folders, red, blue, and green at the very beginning.
Okay.
They were plastic binders, right? Then they had that pinchless rings. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
They slid instead of snapping.
Huh.
Remember that? It was like slid back and forth.
Did.
So I was like, oh yeah, that was a fun little detail. And you mentioned the Velcro, but they actually started out with the snap. They had a snap, like a little button.
I don't remember that.
And eventually that got changed to Velcro. Velcro was kind of a hot new item. Isn't that funny to think about?
Doreen, totally. Our school, I don't think. Mary Beth and I went to the same school. Like, tell me, Mary Beth, I don't think we could have them at St. Pat's.
Well, there's a link in the show notes. And Jenna put the link in there where I got a lot of this information. And they said that teachers, they came out with knockoff ones that were bigger. And they stuck in the kids' desks, and they took up too much space. So a lot of teachers banned them. But then when the teacher saw what a real Trapper Keeper was, they're like, "Oh, those are fine. I don't have a problem with those." So it was very.
So the knockoffs killed his industry.
Well,
basically?
They sold plenty of Trapper Keepers.
Don't feel bad for her.
No. So they put like a commercial together. He said they took $5,000 to put this commercial together.
Okay.
And they tested it in Wichita, Kansas. That was their market to see if this would work. 1978 is when this started.
Okay.
They rolled out the Trappers, and they sold out completely. It was like it hit like crazy town. So they had the three original folder colors. They had 3 solid color designs, and then 3 a soccer, dog, and a cat. A dog and a cat, and then the Oregon Coast was the other design. And they started out with the folders were 29 cents a piece, and the Trapper Keeper was $4.85. $4.85.
So even though the folders came in them, you had to buy it separately?
Well, you could buy extra. I don't know if they came with some. But Crutchfield says that it was the biggest thing they'd ever done. He saw kids fight over the designs in retail. So then they came out with, as you may remember, more of the fashionable 1980s designs. Lisa Frank. Anybody here remember Lisa Frank did those stickers?
Puffy
she was
stickers.
Licensed. Lamborghini was a license. It was pretty cool.
Lamborghini.
Yeah, Lamborghini was like, yeah, we went in on that. We want to get these kids pining.
Because that's our market, is teenagers buying Lamborghinis.
Are people who own sports cars not basically little boys still?
True.
I know.
Is that
I know. I
the
want
market
a
for Trapper
Porsche,
Keepers? I don't see it.
Young boys.
So thank you, Mary Beth, for answering my question. Yeah, I don't think we had them at St. Pat's, but I don't know. Honestly, here's a youngest child moment. Just like in my Whimsy Wednesday, I was kind of reflecting back on being the youngest this week. I don't know that I actually owned one. I think my sisters did, but I kind of lived vicariously through them.
There was a meme I was going to do with Dawson from Dawson's Creek, like crying, and it said didn't have a cat Trapper Keeper.
I have like the youngest memories of not knowing if I actually had one or not, or if it was just somebody else's, but yeah. So
it was interesting. They talk about like why do people still have an affinity for the Trapper Keeper so many decades? And they said it basically boiled down to like what it allowed kids to do. It was fun to be able to show your personality through the binder that you had. This guy says you don't really remember a notebook or the pens or pencils you used, but maybe you remember your Trapper Keeper. And Mr. Crutchfield said, when I first went to work on this, all school products were drab and boring. Trapper Keepers were more functional and more attractive with oodles of choices, therefore fun to have. And I had a lot of fun making them fun.
Sounds like an adultitis fighter.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
It's pretty cool trip down memory lane.
He probably opened the door for licensed folders, right? Like Smurfs on your folders, or like kitty cats or whatever they were.
Because then you'd put stickers on the top of them too. And
right.
Yeah, so it was,
he paved the way for a lot of fun.
Pretty cool. Mr. Crutchfield, we salute you, sir. Rest in peace. All right, meme of the week. You kids and your iPads. When I was young, the Trapper Keeper was all we needed.